Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video here on FPL Now. Today we're going to be going over a potential free hit draft for game week 12. So if you're excited for the video, make sure to drop a like down below. Let's try and hit 50 likes. Leave a comment, are you free hitting this week? Subscribe if you're brand new, and let's get into the video. So, starting things off, before we get into the free hit draft, I'm just going to give my personal opinion on whether you should play it this week or not. I don't necessarily think you should. I think you're going to get more of an advantage from playing it later on in the season when all the blanks are happening because of FA Cups and European games and everything like that. As to now, where if you can just get to like 10 or 11 players with like a -4, that's probably a little bit better. But if your team is in the position where like you've got 3 Arsenal players, 3 City players who are all blanking, you've got James who's obviously out, you've got Maddison who's suspended, you've only got like 4 or 5 playing players, then fair play, the free hit draft is going to be needed, because if you're only going to go into this game with like 4 or 5 players, that's going to really hurt you. And you never know, you might be able to kind of strategically make your transfers not be as bad for like those blanks and stuff. But anyway, let's go into the free hit draft. And in goal we do have Pope and Iverson. Pope I just think is the best keeper this week. They play Everton at home, and there's not really any other keepers that have as good of a fixture as that. There's also the likes of Sanchez, so if you don't have the money for certain players and you don't have the money for Pope, then obviously going Sanchez isn't too bad. They didn't look great defensively against Brentford last game week, but it's at Forest, it's at home, it's against Forest. They should probably be picking up a clean sheet there. But if you can't go Pope, I'd go Sanchez. But for me, Pope is the best keeper to have on a free hit draft this week. The back line consists of Trent, Webster, Nico Williams, Trippier, and Kilman. Again, Williams probably... I don't know. I'm a Forest fan, and I have no idea if Williams is going to play this week. I don't know what the situation was with Aurier, because he wasn't even in the squad against Wolves, and obviously Nico Williams got his place back. So if that's due to like an injury or something, then fair play, Williams will probably play midweek. But if Aurier's back, then he probably will be playing midweek just to rotate them a little bit. But he's in the squad just because he's cheap. He potentially could play, but with a free hit draft, you can kind of, I don't know, you can kind of just have fun with it, really. And so the other benched player is Kilman, just in case. You know, Crystal Palace away, it's not the worst fixture. Could have scored against Forest as well at the weekend, but yeah, he's just there for a cheap defender that's just kind of bench fodder. Your main players for the back line are going to be Trent, who seems to be back this... well, he was back for City. He came on as a sub. Nobody knew he was going to be back this quick, by the way, so that's quite nice to see him, especially for like England and everything like that. But also has a West Ham at home game and probably will get his place back from Milner or Gomez, depending on who was like playing right back. I think it was Milner. But either way, Trent should be back for the West Ham game. And then you also got Webster as well. Forest at home, just a nice fixture there for Webster. And then Trippier as well. Double Newcastle defense, but Everton at home. Again, if you are a double Newcastle defense owner, then you're obviously very happy with the United result. So yeah, the 3 players that you'd play are Trent, Trippier, and Webster. So that's the back line. In midfield, I've gone for a bit of a punt on Barnes with Maddison injured. Well, not Maddison injured, but with Maddison suspended, should I say. I think Barnes could have a really good game against Leeds. Leeds were really unfortunate not to get anything from Arsenal, to be right. I mean, they did miss a penalty, but their XG was just so much higher than Arsenal's, which is quite interesting. But yeah, I think this could be a very open game. You know, both Leeds and Leicester kind of need the points, and I think Barnes could steal the show as well, and I think he's a little bit of a punt. And again, when you're on a free hit with a game week like this, where, you know, there's not really any guaranteed captaincy option, and, you know, a lot of the best players are kind of blanking or not playing, yeah, I think a punt is all right, and it's a free hit draft. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? Who else are you really going to have in that position? You could have like Bowen, but he's playing Liverpool away. You've got Trent as a defender. I think Barnes is a great option this week, and so he's the punt, and you've only got him for 1 week anyway. But either way, Leeds at home, not a bad fixture. Also, we've got Trossard as well, who's got Forest at home. Again, potential captaincy this week. If you have Salah, then obviously he's the main captain, but if you don't have Salah, then Trossard I think is fine. You know, Trossard's comments was that the new manager wanted him to push more forward, take more shots, and they wanted to score more goals as well. So I think Trossard, obviously coming off on like the 60th minute as well, against Brentford, I think that he could play the full 90 and potentially get a couple goals against Forest. So he is also a good captaincy option this week. I've also gone Zaha as well. Didn't look very good in the last game against, God, who did they play? Crystal Palace. They played... It's gone. At the top of my head. I can't believe it's literally just happened. But either way, didn't look very good in that game. Came off early as well. A little bit rested. Still on penalties though. I think he is dual haul. and hopefully that is against Wolves. But either way, we'll have to see. But Zaha's in this team. Salah also makes the team as well. With Jota injured, I think that it gives kind of more freedom for Salah as well. And obviously did play a little bit more central last night against, well, in the City game. I don't know what day this is going up. I'm recording it the day after the City game, but either way, could have had more as well. Could have had a bit of a haul. A really good Edison saved, stopped him from his first goal, but then of course finished the second shot. But yeah, I think Salah is a really nice captaincy option this week. He's he's back in form. I mean, he never left really, but yeah, the hat trick in the Champions League, a goal against Man City, and now West Ham, Forest, and Leeds coming up. Really nice fixtures for the Egyptian king. But yeah, I think if I was on a free hit this week, I think Salah would be a must in my team. I think he'd have to be. And then Andreas Pereira as well. Just more bench fodder. Like the 4 players who play from midfield are Barnes, Trossard, Zaha, and Salah. But I mean, if you wanted to play Pereira, then you could do if you really wanted to. I mean, Villa do not look very good. I feel like Stevie G will get the sack very, very soon after the Chelsea game. But either way, Andreas Pereira is just there for bench fodder. And then up top, we've got Mitrovic, Darwin Núñez, and Kane. Again, Núñez came on as a off the bench as a sub, but with Jota injured, I think he's much more likely to start as well now. And he's another punt as well. Like, he was getting into good positions in the City game. I mean, he definitely should have squared it to Salah. I don't know what he was doing there. So a little bit greedy, which I guess is what you want as a player in your FPL team. Like, you want them to be greedy, you want them to be having shots. But yeah, I don't know what he was doing there. They could have sealed the game there. If Klopp was still on the field, then I think he would have been raving and ranting. But obviously, he got sent off. The only bad thing about Liverpool is obviously Klopp did get a red card, so he won't be there at the next couple of games. But either way, Darwin Núñez makes the team. Kane as well, just because he's literally got an attacking return every single week since game, and apart from game week 1. Like, he's properly getting overshadowed by Haaland. If Haaland wasn't in the Premier League this season, everybody would be having Kane in their team and captaining him in like every single week. He's literally got a goal or an assist in every week since game week 1. We're now on we're going into game week 12, so that's a lot of attacking returns in a row. Like, actually playing a really, really good season. Does have United away, but again, on penalties, I think it can score in any game. So yeah, King Kane also makes the squad. And then Mitrovic as well. Mitrovic, I'm a little bit on the fence about. He did play, obviously against Bournemouth, got the penalty. But at the same time, his comments were that he was still not fully fit. You know, he was still feeling a lot of pain in the foot. He was on painkillers, which were helping him. So potentially he might even get rested midweek. It might be too much of a turnaround for that game, which is why I sold him as well, because I didn't know if he was going to play for Bournemouth, the Bournemouth game, and obviously if he was back, I didn't know if he was definitely going to play the Villa game midweek. So yeah, I'm a little bit unsure on Mitrovic, but you know, if he does play, you know, he is obviously a player that you're going to want against Villa. So that's kind of the free hit draft. There's not really any other players that I would really want in this team. Potentially like Sterling could get into the team, but or like Son, but I don't really know where you'd find the money for that. You could always drop Darwin down to like a Solanke, who obviously has I think they've got Southampton, which is obviously a really nice fixture, and then you could upgrade Barnes to I think you'd then have enough for Barnes to like Sterling or something like that. I could check that right now. I think Solanke just actually went up in price. He's 5.8 now. Yeah, you could easily just drop in fact, I think you can't. No, you can't get Son. You're 0.7 off Son, but you can go for Sterling if you wanted to. If you wanted to bring Sterling in, you could go do something like this instead. Like, Solanke is on pens as well. He's been hauling a little bit recently. So you could do something like this instead if you didn't want to punt on Barnes. You could go Sterling. And then, yeah, Solanke instead of... oh my God, who did I have there? Instead of... bro, I don't even know. Like, it's really early in the morning that I'm recording this. I can't remember even who I just had in up front. Oh, yeah, Núñez, that was it. So, yeah, if you wanted... Sterling and Solanke instead of Núñez and I'm all over the place, I do apologize. You know what I mean, though. It is kind of just comparing the two. Again, it's very early, I do apologize. But I kind of like the previous one of Barnes and Núñez instead of Sterling and Solanke. But again, it's completely up to you if you wanted to, which one you wanted to go with that. But yeah, that's kind of the draft that I've come up with. I think it's a pretty good free hit draft. I don't think there's necessarily anything really wrong with it. I think it will score you a decent amount of points. Again, Salah captaincy, and then Trossard vice captain. You could go Trossard captain if you wanted to, but I don't think with Salah right there, I don't think you necessarily need to. And I mean, West Ham, they just obviously played Southampton. I think they drew 1-1, but I don't think the Southampton goal should have stood. I think the ref got in the way or something like that. But either way, it happened. But that's going to be everything for the free hit draft. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to drop a like down below. Let's try and hit 500 likes. 550 likes, sorry. Leave a comment. What's your Game Week 12 team looking like? Subscribe if you're brand new. It's everything from me. Have a fantastic rest of your day. And until next time, peace.